I think one of the coolest parts to me for any Star Wars project is when they can successfully create something new and something unique. And with Star Wars Outlaws, we've got a brand new planet that they've created just for this game, which we're going to be exploring as like the main hub, which kind of reminds me of what they've done with like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, where we've gotten these really big planets to explore as the main hubs, and we keep coming back there in between missions, but then we do missions across other places in the galaxy, other planets. And this game has the added benefit of also having a ship that we can fly. And they've got a video over on IGN. It's one of the IGN Firsts. It talks about building a new Star Wars moon for Outlaws. So it's got some new gameplay footage in it, some new scenery that I haven't seen. We're going to dive in, take a look. This is my reaction video. If it's your first time tuning in, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch. And of course, we will be streaming this game among many others. So let's get going here.
So, where do we go next?
Anywhere we want.
Anywhere we want to go.
At the very heart of Star Wars Outlaws is the fantasy that all sci-fi fans dream of. The ability to adventure across the stars. 5 different moons and planets await you, from Rise of Skywalker's chilly Kijimi to the classic deserts of Tatooine. But while
Booyah!
fans will recognize many of Outlaws' locations, there is one that they definitely won't.
Tashara is a moon in the
Tashara.
Outer Rim, much like the rest of the galaxy. It's run by a corrupt imperial governor. And while the
Syndicate
Empire
governor.
is in charge, this is also a hub of scum and villainy. You have all the sort of major syndicates trying to vie for a stake.
Toshara is a brand new moon crafted especially for Star Wars Outlaws by the development team at Massive Entertainment. Inspired by the East African savannah, it has been molded to be as believable and immersive as possible.
Oh, I
We
love
had to work
sketchbooks.
out the demographics of the planet. We had to work out what are the major hubs. We had to work out fauna, flora, all of these sections that needed to
And your art style
come
too,
together
not just
and
for the
also be
creatures, but
weaved
also
by
for
narratives.
buildings.
To learn more, we spoke to members of the Massive team about how they built a whole new world to be added to the official Star Wars canon.
Awesome. I know they worked a lot with Lucasfilm to get
So
things
Lucasfilm Games
right.
loves when we propose something new and we bring them something that can become part of Star Wars canon.
They're giving us a box of toys. We take the toys out, play with them, but then we also create our new toys and put them back for somebody else to play.
Massive came to us with the idea of a Savannah planet. Once we sort of knew the high-level intention behind the story and where we wanted to go, we let them ruminate on what does that mean, what would you like to see, what do you feel like you haven't seen before, what do you want to reference.
For Tashara, Massive wanted a world where the Star Wars
Ooh.
mythology's pirated.
We're gonna go back. Did you see the way she
For
jumped on the speeder?
Tashara, Massive wanted a world where the
Oh, I
Star
love
Wars
it.
mythology's pirate-inspired elements could live. This had
Peel
to be a
out.
place of high-risk, high-reward treasure hunting. A land where getting into trouble with the wrong folks could lead to the equivalent of walking the plank into a Sarlacc pit. And so was born the so-called Gem of the Underworld, a moon ruled by a corrupt division of the Empire and largely controlled by the galaxy's crime syndicates. But
I
it
love
wasn't
it.
enough to develop lore. The team had to start with the look and feel of the very ground itself.
Ooh, look at that. Crashed ship,
We
baby.
approached Toshara in terms of the general Star
Hang on. That is one wicked storyboard, guys. Check that out. Hog on, I just want to check. So we've got like up here. Can you guys see my mouse? Yeah, you can. So there's like up here we get this like sort of like a sea creature looking thing. We got sketches for almost looks like Jabba's palace or something up here. Definitely different types of buildings, different types of creatures over here. Oh man, this is a treasure. Look at that behind the shoulder shot. Oh, I just love it, guys. I love sketches and artwork and storyboarding. This is one of the funnest pieces of putting together both the MMORPG and the tabletop we just did. Was putting together all the artwork and getting that into the book and seeing that actually hit the shelves. It's such
Wars
a good
design
feeling.
tenets where it has to be familiar, but
Look at
with
that.
a twist.
It's
Love
like
it.
you go with the familiar, which, for example, in a place like Tatooine, it would be the desert, it would be Death
Jabba's
Valley,
palace.
and it would be Tunisia. For us, it was like looking at Tanzania as, oh, this is a location that if we would go out and shoot a movie, we would pick this as our shooting location. And then it's like, okay, what else do we need? Like, you know, what is the unfamiliar element?
For us, Toshara was windswept plains of African savanna, but with huge mountains,
God, that's
outcrops
massive,
that have been
guys.
carved so that a city can take place within those rock walls, if you will. And amberine outcrops, which create a visual difference there too.
Oh, I can dig it,
Amberine
man.
is the
Check
orange
that
ore-like
out.
material that can be seen poking through Tashara's surface.
I love it.
Inspired by an old Austrian fortune-telling tradition in which molten lead is poured into cold water to create shapes that reveal what's to come, the amberine forms into a variety of striking shapes.
Wherever you're going, they're inside caves, they form plateaus, they even sort of shape into ramps for Kay to jump her speeder off of. They also
did you see
react
the-
beautifully to
Look at the dust
shape
poof
into
when she
ramps for
lands.
Kay to jump her speeder off of.
Oof,
They also
love it.
react beautifully to the sun.
Unusually for Star Wars, amberine isn't a precious resource like Kessel Spice or Beskar Steel, and so
Okay.
it is left untouched and intact. That's not to say it's useless though. The moon's climate is incredibly windy, and those winds erode away at rocks, cliff faces, and even mountains.
God, that looks
And so Tashara's
brilliant.
main metropolis, the city of Mirana, would have to be built somewhere that could withstand such a climate.
Oh yeah.
Carved into
Into
the
the
mountain,
cliffs.
into the amberine. So you have natural outcroppings of this very luminous amberine,
Oh, that's
which
wicked.
lets the light through that becomes a part of the ambient lighting of the
I can dig
location.
it.
Basking in that light is the Pike Syndicate, the most dominant of Miragana's criminal organizations. But the city's busy streets are full of opportunities for both a galactic scoundrel scouting for gigs and a player looking to diversify their play experience.
Stealing illegal contraband, running with syndicates. I could say you're a threat to the Empire.
Ooh, she's gonna get
But I
wanted
might have to
status.
if you're smart.
Every single location we had to choose had to be a den
Look at
of
that.
scum and villainy, right? And in Miragana, you can do a lot of things. The first thing that you should do as a scoundrel, as an outlaw, is go to the cantina. And in the
course.
cantina, you'll find,
We'll find
lots of
contacts.
shady characters that'll offer you jobs. Or you can just relax, eavesdrop, pick up some intel.
I'm
play
here for
games of
jobs,
Sabacc,
please.
Bet on the Fathia races, play some arcade games.
Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand.
Beyond the cantina, you'll find a city split into several regions, each with their own flavour. The gambling district is constructed using different architecture and signage to the central market, while the Imperial checkpoint is built of the Empire's instantly recognisable flat panels and grid
Great.
vents. No matter where you find an Imperial base on Tashara, it'll stick out like a sore thumb.
When they come in, they don't care
Imperial.
about their environment. They
No,
just
it's not about
stamp down their
aesthetics.
base wherever they need. There are some amberine pillars around it, and we were imagining maybe that was an amberine arc at one point, and they just cut that arc off from the top and just put their base there. It creates a really interesting visual that's seen from far away.
That's
that
a
you
cool
can really
concept,
use
though.
as a landmark.
Beyond the city's borders, the aforementioned winds have eroded away the moon's rock surface to reveal even more unusual amberine formations. A resourceful
That was a weird
outlaw with a
transition
speeder
from
bike
ship to speeder.
could use such formations to hit even greater speeds during hot pursuits.
It's very orange glowing. It stands out very naturally in the environment. So we could make ramps where you can jump off. We made the wind tunnels where you
I
can see
can
carved
dig it.
out by the winds. One of the references
Little
was like
speed
surfing
boost.
underneath waves.
In the process of planning out Tashara's geography, Massive even went as far as establishing the moon's wind currents all run north to south.
Perfect.
This dictated the map's population density, road networks, audio design, and, importantly, the formation of the speed-boosting wind tunnels. And so while the amberine ramps and tunnels may be a gameplay-first element, it's all created hand-in-hand with world-building lore in mind.
For every location, no matter how small, we want to think about what happened here, what is
Look at that
happening
ship
now
up there.
here, and what is the location in general, what people do.
Are we
there.
are we
we
racing
have a
the
very
ship?
clear
I don't
idea
know.
of the history of the place and what the place is.
If you're still looking for Hoth, I haven't seen him.
Actually, I'm here for you.
Looking for you.
I heard you're the best shot on the planet.
Pistolera.
Oh, And you want to be second best.
A skilled outlaw can harness the moon's winds for their benefit, but not
Really?
everyone is prepared to tackle such a climate.
can
Remnants
you
of
use the
those who
winds?
tried to fight the winds and lost are scattered across Tashara's surface in a smart example of environmental storytelling.
It's a very
some
volatile
shipwrecks.
system. You have a lot of shipwrecks everywhere. People who tried to reach that system before but didn't know how to navigate these kind of currents to safely land.
But the storytelling doesn't end there. Those shipwrecks then become part of Tashara's history and economy.
There's very few natural kind of resources to build buildings apart from the rock. They use all the metal from the ships that have crashed and building all the buildings with those.
With so much of Tashara's environment being made up of harsh rock, crashed spaceships, and strange amberine structures, the finishing touch had to be something much more alive and endearing. While the crime syndicates may be the planet's apex predators, there are plenty of other creatures in the wilds to discover and befriend.
The first one that you probably will notice is what we call the Toshara flyer, which is like a flying creature. They tend to just being attracted by everything that sparkles, and they steal everything. When you see them circling somewhere, maybe you can go there and find something of value because they probably stole it. But we have also the Goshiros. They are like the smaller creatures on the ground. They're fairly fun because if you pet them, they will just start following you. And maybe sometimes more of them will follow you.
Tashara has yet more secrets to be discovered, but we won't know this new moon's best treasures until we explore it ourselves when Star Wars Outlaws arrives on August the 30th. Until then, why not take a look at our exclusive Outlaws gameplay, as well as our in-depth look at how Massive has approached making the first ever open-world Star Wars game. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
Well, of course, you know, guys, we're super stoked about this game. I'm going to be playing the absolute hunani out of this when it goes live. I still have yet to decide if I'm going to pre-order the Ultimate Edition to get 3 days of early access or not. We'll take a vote on that at some point in mid-August, probably, to see. But in the meantime, I'll be continuing to come across coverage like this and do reaction videos to it. And you can always check out the daily streams between here and on Twitch. Don't forget Discord, Patreon, all the socials. And I'll see everybody in the next one. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.